There's something unsettling about fire watchtowers. Maybe it's the isolation. One person alone for miles. Nothing around them except trees and silence. Or maybe it's the idea that someone could be watching you from high above without you ever noticing. This story was shared by someone who says he and a friend found an abandoned fire tower deep in the forest during a weekend hike. At first, it seemed empty. Then they realized someone had been living there, and whoever it was had been watching them long before they ever reached it. Welcome to Tales Beyond the Flame. It happened during a 2-day hiking trip through a forest reserve known for old ranger infrastructure. Most of it had been shut down years earlier. Unused trails, collapsed ranger stations, abandoned equipment. There was even an old fire watch tower marked on outdated maps. That became the goal. Not because they expected anything interesting, just because it sounded different. The hike itself took most of the day. Long stretches without another person, dense trees, uneven ground, cold air settling in earlier than expected. By late afternoon, they finally saw the tower through the trees, tall, weathered, rising above a canopy like a silhouette. Even from a distance, something about it felt wrong, not dangerous, just occupied. One of them joked about someone staring down at them from the top. The other laughed, but both instinctively looked upward anyway. No movement, no figure, nothing visible in the windows. As they got closer, they noticed the trail around the tower was cleaner than expected, less overgrown. Branches broken back, footprints in soft dirt. Not old. That should have been the first warning. The tower itself looked abandoned. Faded paint, rust along the supports, wood warped by years of weather. But the ladder was intact, and the door at the bottom stood slightly open. They called out first. No answer, just silence above them. Then a slow creaking sound as the tower shifted in the wind. They stepped inside. The interior smelled strange. Not mold, not decay. Smoke, fresh smoke. They both noticed it immediately. Someone had used a fire recently. Near the corner of the lower platform sat an old tin can filled with ash, still dark gray, still smelling fresh. One of them said they should leave. The other argued it was probably another hiker using the tower occasionally. That explanation worked for about 30 seconds. Then they found the food. Canned supplies stacked neatly against the wall. Water bottles, blankets, a lantern, all recently used. Someone was living there. And based on the condition of everything, probably still was. That should have ended it. They should have left immediately. Instead, they kept climbing. The staircase spiraled upward around the inside of the tower. Every step echoed, every movement amplified. Halfway up, they noticed something else. Scratches along the railing, not random damage. Marks, repeated in groups. 5 lines crossed by one horizontal cut. Tally marks, dozens of them, maybe hundreds. One of them joked that someone had been counting days. Neither of them laughed much. As they climbed higher, the forest outside grew darker, the windows narrowing into black shapes between trees. Then they heard it, a sound from above, soft, slow, footsteps, moving across the top platform. Both of them froze instantly. The footsteps stopped too. Silence. Complete silence. Then came a single creak overhead, like someone shifting their weight carefully. One of them whispered that they should leave. The other agreed immediately this time. No argument, no curiosity left. They turned to head back down. Then something hit the stairs below them. A small metal object. It clanged loudly against the steps before stopping near their feet. A spoon. Old. bent slightly. Neither of them moved, because it hadn't fallen accidentally. It had been dropped from above. Slowly they looked upward. The top platform remained dark. No visible face, no movement. But someone was up there, watching. Then the footsteps started again, not rushing, not chasing, just pacing slowly from one side of the platform to the other, back and forth, almost calmly. They started descending immediately, trying not to move too fast on the narrow stairs. Above them, the pacing continued, then stopped. A few seconds later, a new sound. Movement outside the tower, not above, below. They looked through the gaps in the structure and saw someone walking around the base, dark jacket, slow pace, head tilted slightly upward toward them. One of them whispered something that made both of them panic instantly. There are two of them, above and below. The person outside never spoke, never rushed, just circled slowly around the base of the tower, watching upward, like they already knew the hikers had nowhere else to go. The footsteps above resumed, now descending slowly, one step at a time, measured, unhurried. The hikers moved faster, almost slipping on the stairs trying to get down. Below them, the figure outside disappeared briefly behind the tower supports, then reappeared near the entrance, waiting. The person above kept descending, closer now, heavy boots against metal stairs. One of them finally made a decision. Instead of continuing down toward the entrance, he climbed over the side railing onto one of the external maintenance platforms. Dangerous, narrow, but open. His friend followed immediately. They edged around the outside of the tower, gripping rusted metal supports. Below them, the figure stepped into the entrance and looked upward. At the same moment, another figure appeared in the staircase doorway above, tall, thin, face hidden in shadow, standing completely still. The hikers climbed down the outer supports as fast as they could, hands slipping, metal shaking beneath them. Neither figure followed immediately. They just watched, one from above, one from below. By the time the hikers reached the ground, they ran without looking back, straight into the trees, branches tearing at their clothes, no trail, no direction, just distance. They didn't stop until they reached the main road near midnight. Later they reported the tower. Officials claimed it had been abandoned for years. A search team checked the structure days later. No supplies, no blankets, no lantern, nothing. Just an empty tower. But according to the report, they did find one thing scratched repeatedly into the inside railing near the top platform. Tallies, hundreds of them. And beside them, two sets of footprints, not leaving the tower, only circling it.